Essa carta que você está vendo, onde você vê peixes grandes engolindo os pequenos, diz assim: os bancos quebrarão e os Illuminatis comprarão todos eles e as empresas mais poderosas do mundo também. Os Illuminatis são donos dos maiores bancos do mundo e estão comprando os bancos menores para ter o controle financeiro total do mundo. Essa carta fala tão somente dos bancos, mas que os Illuminatis comprarão as empresas fortes, como empresas de petróleo, de aviões, porque eles querem controlar tudo, empresas de abastecimento de luz, abastecimento de água, enfim, eles querem comprar todas essas empresas, porque comprando elas, terão controle sobre a população. E tem um ditado, que esse ditado é da época de Hitler, na guerra, e diz que quem controla a água e a comida, controla as pessoas. Já a próxima carta chama-se carta Bill Clinton. Presta atenção nessa carta. Os presidentes dos Estados Unidos há muito tempo são maçons Illuminatis. Os partidos políticos se venderam por dinheiro aos Illuminatis. E os dois candidatos que concorreram à presidência são Illuminatis. Eles manobram a economia de todo o país, tendo o objetivo de formação da nova ordem mundial e derrubam governos que não aceitam suas exigências, através de guerras com motivos mentirosos. Essa carta diz isso. Vamos para a próxima carta. A carta às grandes indústrias do mundo. Essa carta que você está vendo, as grandes indústrias do mundo, são dos Illuminatis, como já comentamos. Eles querem ser os donos de tudo que existe no mundo. Conseguirão tanto poder, assim através de venderem sua alma ao próprio diabo, em troca de riquezas. E o diabo usa eles para formar um governo mundial, em que virá a besta escrita no Apocalipse, que todos irão adorar. O próprio diabo estará recebendo essa adoração e levando todos esses ao inferno com ele. Apocalipse capítulo 14, versículo 9 ao 10. Essa carta que você está vendo também é assustadora. Carta Lei Marcial nos Estados Unidos. Algum tempo atrás, havia algumas divulgações aqui pela internet sobre essa lei marcial. Alex Jones já divulgou várias vezes em seus vídeos sobre que viria essa lei marcial. E quem diria, em 2011, no finalzinho, já foi aprovada esta lei. Observe atentamente aos detalhes dessa carta. Carta Lei Marcial. Essa carta Lei Marcial é uma das cartas que está prestes a se cumprir, totalmente, é claro, pelo mundo. Leis que foram aprovadas nos Estados Unidos colocarão a população a um controle total. Muitos serão presos, sem direito a advogados e sem acusação alguma. Veja bem, basta um militar não ir com a cara de algum civil e a miséria estará feita. Esta carta diz que haverá uma guerra interna nos Estados Unidos. A população americana é uma população que está fortemente armada. Irá causar o início do conflito mundial. Veja o que diz este vídeo a partir de agora. Um vídeo que mostra que a lei marcial nos Estados Unidos já foi aprovada. Esse vídeo do senhor Alex Jones. Incrível. Basta um soldado militar, que eles querem colocar os soldados nas ruas, não ir com a cara de alguma pessoa, vão prender essas pessoas sem direito algum e fim de papo. E aí, meu amado, o bicho, como diz o ditado popular, vai pegar para os americanos. Nós vamos ver mais esclarecimento agora nesse vídeo de Alex Jones. Vamos ver.
Pension bill passed 93-7 in the Senate. Similar version in the House has gone through. They have to reconcile it. The Senate last night codified into law the power of the U.S. military to indefinitely detain an American citizen with no charge, no trial, and no oversight whatsoever in the passage of S. 1867, the National Defense Authorization Act. And though the White House has threatened to veto this bill, the fact that the Obama administration's lawyers yesterday reaffirmed their backing for state-sponsored assassination of U.S. citizens would suggest otherwise. And, of course, there are a number of executive orders and precedents of executive overreach, which already have many aspects of this on the book. But the idea of passing this legislation is, of course, nightmarish. Paul Joseph Watson has also uncovered an even worse amendment in this bill, which was narrowly defeated. This amendment would have made the Senate bill give it allowance to detain Americans even after they had been found innocent. The details of that report are up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. But before you go to those websites, I do want to draw attention to a little bit of the details. Amendment number 1274 would have given the federal government the power to detain U.S. citizens until Congress declared the war on terror over, which we've been told is a never-ending, multi-generational conflict. The provision also gave the feds the power to keep an American incarcerated even if it were tried and found not guilty. So much monstrous legislation coming through this larger National Defense Act. Of course, Alex Jones and many other patriots have cried shame over it, but are ordinary Americans even paying any attention to it at all with Black Friday and the holiday season underway? To find out, we went to Darren McBreen.
The National Defense Authorization Act empowers the U.S. military to operate on American soil. They can arrest American citizens and cart them off to detention centers anywhere in the world, basically turning the entire homeland into a battlefield and allowing the military to arrest individuals and detain them indefinitely without trial. Now, this violates every aspect of a free society by denying Americans their constitutionally protected right to due process. How do you think the average American is going to respond?
The same way they responded at the Kent State massacre when National Guard troops were used to fire live ammunition on students who were nonviolently protesting the Vietnam War. The American public was outraged.
The military is here to defend us, not to prosecute us and arrest us and throw us in jail. I think it's a sneak attack by Congress and people to, counter the movement on Wall Street.
These people are saying that the passing of the bill, basically it means to them that the Rubicon has been crossed, that this means America will become complete and possibly irreversible totalitarian military state.
Well, then our only hope is some defective armed force members.
I think that's our only chance, is the military needs to enforce our Constitution, and our congressmen are trampling over the rules that were established over 200 years ago. And that's the whole problem. There's too much corruption in the executive branch and in the congressional.
What would you say to active military who might be told to enforce this bill?
Listen, I'm a veteran of the United States Army, 31 units, airborne, and I'll tell you what, very simply we take an oath to protect this country from threats both foreign and domestic.
It's not good. It's not healthy for our democracy for the American Army to be involved.
For those people who say that, oh, it could never happen here, it could never happen to us, those are called the famous last words. Many times throughout history, situations have happened where governments have turned their military against its citizens. You know what? History repeats itself. If that eventuality does happen, you have to remind yourself that these are your brothers and sisters and neighbors and people you went to school with. And remember what you're truly fighting for. It's for our Constitution, not for these puppets who are actually our servants who have run amok.
Now, Stuart Rhodes, the founder of Oath Keepers, recently appeared on the Infowars Nightly News, and he warned people that we are now at the point where all that will save liberty in America is another American revolution.
But really, you should see this as a declaration of war against the American people. That's how we should see it. We need to stop this right now. If we don't, Alex, I do believe that there will be no recourse except another revolution. Otherwise, we are going to be lost. We will be put in the same position as the Founding Fathers were in 1775.
I want to tell the military and police, the globalists are going to sit offshore and watch you get chewed up in a fight with the American people. It's very important that police and military really make a decision now which side they're going to be on.
The military, you're right. Choose now whom you shall serve. Either you are, I'm talking to the military out there especially, either you are a son of the Republic, and you will defend the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, or you are a traitor to your country and you are nothing but a lowly dog, an obedient dog to the powers that be. Choose now whom you shall serve.
There's a lot of constitutionalists out there who are in such an uproar that they are saying that this bill places us in almost exactly the same position that our forefathers were in when they were forced to take up arms in defense of liberty back in 1775.
Well, to those people I would say it's a culmination of things that have put us in that position, and I would agree that the architects, the great and highly intelligent architects that constructed our infrastructure, the way we do business and the way we do politics and the way we live here in America, they would turn over in their graves and they would be very ashamed of us and how far we've let this go.
Indefinite detention without due process leaves citizens without the legal protection of the Constitution, and it strikes at the very heart of the essence of U.S. law. It is positively shameful that any elected representative would even consider voting for such an assault on so sacred a fundamental value as the right to due process. I'm Darren McBreen for InfoWars Nightly News.
And of course, John McCain is the one who introduced legislation in 2010 along very similar lines. Great report from Darren. He obviously put a lot into it, but we don't do what the mainstream media does, interview 40, maybe 100 people, and then show just the handful who fit in with our views. We're going to show you the other people who will accept any government power and probably even serve to enforce that undue power. Let's go to that side of the report now.
What do you think is going to be the response of American citizens once they start seeing American troops on the street?
I think that most people are going to be divided.
I don't do anything wrong, so I don't have anything to fear, so I'm not afraid of the military.
The military being on the streets of America, there's a new bill that's being passed.
It's a great idea. I'm all for it.
So you support to fight terrorism, military on the street?
Of course, I do.
So you think in order to fight terrorism, that would make you feel a little safer seeing military on the street?
Yeah. So I think the only people that are afraid of the military is people that commit crimes or, that are in criminal organizations. So.
And the combination of pure corruption and pure ignorance